Maybe. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Live Sessions. I'm really excited today because we have a pretty awesome artist on today. He's award winner. He's from Minnesota, which is like a really cool state and has a really cool accent. And he's got quite the story. I couldn't help it to have you on. So here we have Tyler Herwig, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Just want to make sure I pronounced it correctly.
And not his
Um,
super her wig.
yeah. That did cross my mind. I was trying, yeah. Okay, so I was talking to Tyler earlier about how just your story, there's a plethora of information, and just your whole career has been so amazing. Like just the ups and downs and the
Yeah.
just the perseverance like is incredible. So can you give us just kind of a little bit of like how you got into music, like where it started, and then we'll kind of go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've been performing professionally now since I was 16 years old. So, see, I turned 31 next month. So, almost 15 years now.
Yeah.
It all got started for me back in just like junior high, early high school. My brother's best friend passed away and like pretty tragically. And I wrote my very first song for him, really just a way for me to kind of cope with the feelings that I was
Yeah.
feeling. And I ended up performing that show at a school talent show, and that was when I learned that girls really like musicians, uh, like a lot, right? And so I was always kind of a dorky, nerdy kid, and when I learned that girls like musicians, and I had this kind of this passion for it, I decided to really invest some time into it, and so I taught myself how to play guitar by watching videos on YouTube, and I learned all the favorite songs of this girl that I had this huge crush on, and
Mhm.
I decided to get all of our friends together and put this like concert on in the parking lot of a Taco John's. And at the very end, I was going to ask her out, and so that's what I did. I learned all of her favorite songs. I got all of our friends together. I put on this little show, and at the very end, I said, "Would you go out with me?" And
Yeah.
she said, "No."
Oh.
And parts. The worst part about it was that all of my friends were there to sit and make fun of me, and that lasted for about
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes until they got bored. They left, and I was alone in a Taco John's parking lot with a broken heart and a guitar. And I just decided to do the only thing that made any sense for like a 16-year-old boy to do in that situation. I ordered like 30 tacos,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I sat in the trunk of my car eating tacos and crying and
Oh,
singing sad songs. And I
yeah.
did that for like an hour or two until this woman got off of work. And as she was pulling through the drive through of Taco John's, she heard me singing, and she got out of her car and came and asked if I would sing in her wedding as she walked down the aisle.
Yeah.
And that was the moment for me that really changed everything. Cause I mean, I liked music before. It was a fun like hobby, but in that moment, it became a passion because I learned that I could make someone's day a little bit more special or a moment a little bit more memorable by doing something that I had learned to love to do. And I've chased
Yeah.
that feeling quite literally every single day for 15 years. And that's taken me all over the world to sing songs, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up the girl through the drive-through because I was watching you on a different interview and you were telling that story and I was like, how crazy is that and random, Like just for you to just be there randomly trying to get with another girl and this girl's like, "Hey, he sounds great. Maybe I need a musician," and just plucks you out of nowhere.
I mean, I
Like,
firmly believe that everything happens for a reason. I can't remember who that woman was. I'm sure if I really tried, like my mom could figure it out for me or something because it would
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So, um, but like I wish I could tell her like thank you because she really changed my life just by wanting to be a wedding musician.
Yeah.
Because my rates were about as low as they've ever been 15 years
Yeah.
ago, and
Yeah. Well, when you're
it
starting out, I can imagine. And you were only 16, you said, right?
I was not compared to where I am now. Like I was not very good. Like I was not
Yeah.
good at playing guitar. Like I'd only been playing guitar for a few months. Like I was not good. Um,
Wow.
but
How
needed
did
some.
that go? Like, how did the wedding go? Did
Good.
you know what to play and like?
I mean, I she had me play like 3 songs, like a pre ceremony, down the aisle, and then post ceremony.
Yeah.
I, it was Marry Me, Marry Me by Train.
Oh,
It was Home by Chris Daughtry, and
good.
it might have been Everything by Michael Bublé. It was a Michael Bublé song. It was either Everything or Haven't Met You Yet. It was one of the two.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Well, that's awesome. Did you have to like was it like that weekend and did you get to practice and
Oh,
like
it was months in advance.
prepare?
I had plenty of
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe it was just like I need one today, you
no,
know?
no. I had plenty of time to practice and learn, and got a little better before the wedding. But I think she just
Yeah.
liked kind of the I think she liked the innocence that was in my voice,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think she got me like for like $50 at a dinner. So
Deal.
it was a
Yeah.
deal at the time.
Jeez. Was that your very first like ever other than the one that you had staged, but like was there any other was that like the first one professionally you had done?
Professionally, yeah, yeah. I mean, I had done like choir and a couple choir solos and like some worship team at church for like youth ministry and stuff. But like it was
Yeah.
never, like I said, it was like it was a hobby before, right? Like it was a thing
Yeah.
that I do kind of a little bit, and then in that moment is when I really fell in love with it.
Yeah, yeah. So, I I had seen that you had said in an interview that you were kind of afraid to kind of jump into it and way back when you started and like you had to kind of work up to having kind of the courage to do it. How did you kind of come out of that and really say this is what I want to do and just go for it?
Yeah, I mean, think I think what you're referring to is like when I decided to take it from like a hobby into like a full time career.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page so I don't answer
Yeah.
the wrong question.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, after that wedding, I started performing, at a couple other like little events and parties. And then when I got to college, I started doing like bars and wineries and stuff like that and restaurants. And it was a good weekend job, for a full time student. I was like, I'm gonna play guitar for pretty girls my freshman year
Yeah.
of anyway. So I might as well get paid to do it a little bit. And so it was a great little weekend thing, and it stayed that way for many many years, until I met my wife. Actually, long story short, I met my wife at one of my shows, and I can go into that. We have a very interesting story which I can explain later. But shortly after we got married, literally the day after we got married, she encouraged me to quit my job and go full time with music. She was like, "Look, I believe in you. This is your dream, clearly. Um, and if we're starting this new life together, we should just go all in on our dreams before we have kids and we're like tied down and life gets more complicated."
Yeah.
So right after our wedding, I called my boss and I quit my job. And I quit my part-time job that I had as well because I was working a full-time and a part-time job and doing music. And so I quit both those and I was like, I'm gonna go be a musician.
Yeah.
And like that was an easier transition because I already had part-time work. So like, and she had a good job, but her main reason for encouraging me to do that was that we didn't have kids. Well, 3 weeks after our wedding, we found out that we were pregnant with our daughter. And that was when for me, like failure was no longer an option. Right. Like
Right.
I either
Yeah.
had to give up on in my mind, because I'm a very black and white person, like there's no gray.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it was either I figure out how to make music a full-time career that can provide for a family, or my child starves to death. Like it
Yeah.
in my mind, I realize that's probably not the reality, but in my mind, that's what was true. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, I just started emailing and calling like everywhere in the world. Like, I mean, I wasn't I would went on Google, I found every restaurant within 100 miles of where I lived, every bar, winery, brewery, listening room. I emailed all of them. I called all of them. If I couldn't if I couldn't get the show that I wanted, then I was emailing like Walmarts and Targets asking if I could come play in the parking lot, like in the early
Yeah.
afternoon, just so that way I could try and get any
Anything and everything. Yes.
anyone to listen to me, whether it was tips and I was just busking or whether it was,
Yeah.
a paid show or a ticketed event, whatever. And slowly over the course of the last 5 years, I took what was like that well paid hobby, um, and I call it my gift of desperation. I used my gift of desperation to turn it into a full time career where now I do about 280 shows a year.
I
Uh,
know. That is just insane.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
and,
5 days a week. I live stream on TikTok 5 days a week as well, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central. And then I do a 3 hour show in the evening. Uh, So I mean, it's 4 to 6 hours of music every single day.
yeah.
Uh, it's just a lot of fun, and I'm actually now about to literally a week from tomorrow. I'll be flying out to the United Kingdom to do my first international tour.
I
So
saw that. Yeah. That is so amazing. Have you been there before?
I've been to Europe. I have never been to the United Kingdom. So this is my first time going there. I'm really excited. I'm opening up for Dylan
Yeah.
Carmichael and Kaylee Bell, and it's just going to be like the most amazing experience. And I get to take my wife and my children with me, and all of this is
Oh my
ultimately
gosh.
my
That's
wife.
even better.
Yeah, I know. It's like a vacation for them, but a work thing for me.
Yeah, right.
All of this happened because of the people that believed in me when I never believed in myself. Right? It was a
Yeah.
stranger in the parking lot. It was my wife believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, and they just pushed me to
Yeah.
make my dream a reality. And I have a feeling I am far from at the peak of my career. So we got a long way to go.
Yeah. I mean, you've had quite the success at it though. You've had your song on the radio. You've had like all these different opportunities it seemed like that just due to your hard work and your dedication and people kind of pushing you along, you were able to really kind of manifest all of the things that a musician is able to have as an opportunity, it seems. Um,
Yeah.
and I think where that kind of uh you kind of see all the success and then that kind of makes you believe you can do it too, I would imagine, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like it's been a real blessing for me to see my career slowly grow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating at times. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to go viral on TikTok like
Yeah.
tomorrow and
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
have the song that everybody's dancing to. I haven't had that quite yet, but it's the slow growth that has allowed me to get to where I am. Like, I would never recommend someone who wants to do music as a full-time career. I would never recommend that in your first year of a music career, you try and do 280 shows a year.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Insane.
It's probably not going to be good for your voice. You're gonna want to give up. But I started off doing, like 50 shows, and over 15 years turned that 50 into 280. So it's been like slowly working. It's like you're working out a muscle, right? And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
slowly adding more weight that I'm benching or curling. Clearly, I've never worked out in my life, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I think the point still holds. Like, I'm slowly growing, and like I think there's a lot of stuff still to come because I haven't gotten tired yet because I'm just adding just a little bit more every
Yeah.
time. It's I didn't really start doing interviews and podcasts or radio stuff or press anything until a few years ago. And I don't think I would have been ready for it a few years ago, much less have anything to
Mhm.
talk about versus now I've been on radio
Yeah.
all the time and I've done interviews. I'm not I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a little nervous. You seem very intimidating, but no, I'm
I
kidding. I'm
am
kidding.
far from that.
I'm just joshing. But
Okay, okay. I
it's
was
all
like, please don't. I'm not. There's none.
no, but it's all it's slow growth that allows you to really keep going. Was it
Yeah.
the tortoise and the hare kind of thing?
Yeah, right.
Slow and steady
Well,
wins.
and I think it's that you kind of have to accept that that's, not every musician. I mean, I've done I think you're probably somewhere near 560 interviews I've done, right? Of local artists. And in that entire time I've done people, I'm not saying that as a boast, everybody. I'm just saying in the all the people that I have talked to, the journey, nobody has the same journey. It's just where they come to a realization that music is their passion or their heart or their calling or their purpose, you kind of find this like ground of like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And you just take off and wherever that leads, and and goes, it's kind of different for everybody, you
Yeah.
know. And so for you, to kind of touch on a more serious issue, I keep saying issue, more serious, uh I don't know, my
Top.
brain stopped. Topic.
Know
There
what
we
you're.
go.
So it makes it easy.
Yeah. See, really not intimidating. My brain just shuts down. So I had a couple of questions in this regard, and if you can kind of, before I do, maybe give a little bit of your background with, addiction and coming out of that, and what music did for you for that, because I think that's really important. And what I saw in you was just like this journey coming over that hump and really finding yourself through it. So can you kind of give an idea of like, or your journey through it, how you came out of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. So I mean, my journey to sobriety was a slow fade, and then a pretty hard stop when I once I started falling. I mean, I started messing around with uh am I allowed to say that, like, dr I am okay. So
Yeah.
I started around with drugs and alcohol when I was, I just don't want to get you banned on anything. So I
Nah.
started around with drugs and alcohol when I was a teenager, right? Like, it was just the thing that kids do in high school. You start like smoking um something like clove cigarettes and stuff, and you think you're all
Yeah.
cool. And that kind of persisted as I got into college. And by the time I was 23, I had fallen in with a wrong group of friends. And I was in a relationship that wasn't super healthy at the time as well. And things started to get out of control. I found myself, I think at the peak of my drinking career, I was going through about a liter of vodka per day. Um, as well as there was
Yeah.
all sorts of marijuana and other other drugs involved to try and like balance out everything I was doing. Like, I was on uppers and downers, and it was a mess, right? And I ended up getting myself in some legal trouble due to a car accident that I was in. Luckily, I was the only person involved. No one was hurt, by the grace of God. But I ended up running my car into a stop sign, and the stop sign actually bent around the hood of my car and was only a few inches away from just like cutting my head straight in half.
Yeah.
Uh, and this happened shortly after my now wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. We'd only been dating for a few months, but she was living in France, and she had moved back to the U.S. to date me. And she had no idea that I was an addict, and I ended up getting arrested. And when I finally was released from jail, my wife told me that she couldn't stick around. Like, this isn't what she signed up for. She just gave up her dream
Yeah.
job in a country that she loves. My wife is like a French fanatic. Like, say
Yeah.
the word and she'll get crazy. She's just it's wild. Um, but so I looked at her and I said, like, you're right. This isn't what you signed up for, and this isn't who I am. Um, so I understand that if you have to leave, you have to leave, but just know that I'm gonna I'm gonna figure out how to get better.
Yeah.
And so checking myself into a treatment facility. I stayed there for a little over a month. And while I was in the treatment facility, I decided that I was going to completely quit music. I was like, I can't go to bars. I can't go to wineries literally every single day um, if I'm trying to get sober. And that was when COVID happened, and it shut down the entire world, which I understand was horrible for like the planet, but for me on an individual level, it was great because
Hmm.
it took away any temptation to go and try and get into bars because there weren't any bars, and it
Yeah.
gave me opportunity to just focus on getting healthy. And I ended up moving out of the treatment facility into a sober house, and I lived in that sober house for a little over a year. And while I was towards the end of that year, uh, a buddy of mine, who was actually the best man at my wedding, challenged me to go to every bar and winery for the rest of my life. Anytime, like, go back into music, it's what you're called to do, Tyler. But every time you go, you have to tell your story of sobriety. You have to
Mm.
sing it in your songs. You have to write music about where you've been and where you are now, and paint that picture for people.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you do that, do you think you would stay sober? And I was like, well, I have no idea, but I would really love to go try.
Yeah.
Started doing that. And now every single day that I perform, going on, it's going to be coming up 5.5 years now, going
Hmm.
on years, something like that. If I'm doing math correctly, which is not my
Yeah.
specialty.
5 years.
Uh,
Yeah.
5 years, right? Um, I've maintained sobriety, which
That's
is
amazing, Tyler. For
is
real.
yeah. And the coolest part about it is that it kind of had this unintended effect of I've helped other people not
Yeah,
make the,
it's a ripple effect.
yeah.
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
was like it came from like a pretty selfish place. Like I was just like, I want to sing songs and I want to stay sober and this is what I have
Yeah.
to do. So kind of be quiet and listen to my story. I realize you're trying to take shots right now, but listen to my story of
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But become like this mission that I have to go to the places where people who might be struggling are and offer them hope, because
Yeah.
that's something that I never felt like I had for the longest time. I always thought I was hopeless. I always thought I was less than, that I was worth nothing. And I just needed someone to pick me up and tell me, no, 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 you're worth more than you think. I believe in you. And
Yeah.
that's all kind of what has helped me get sober and has changed my life.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people I know that have been in your exact spot. And um my own best friend, she in the 2020 also brought her to that point. And she couldn't do the bars and stuff too. It was a real struggle for her too, to try and get through that. And but I think it's worth telling people your story, in that capacity, and then you just never know who it's going to land on. Maybe it
Yeah.
doesn't land on anybody that day. Maybe it lands on two people that day, um but I think to make that, to turn your kind of bad situation into something more purposeful and meaningful, and make your music have a purpose, is, I think, the best way you can honor that and yourself, right?
Yeah.
And being able to say, okay, I did it. Like, I did it, you can do it. It takes a lot of work, and you have to find, a ground to stand on to do it, and a bunch of people to support you, but you can do it, and did you have so with that, did you have people that were like really with you in that moment? Because you said you had like people that were pushing you to music, but like once you started to kind of, accept that this was happening, and then 2020 happens, was there this, like, everybody was still kind of like, okay, Tyler, continue to do this, like, we really need you to go in this path.
Yeah. I mean, my parents and my siblings were always really good supporters of my choice to get sober.
Yeah.
They had enough of, how do I want to phrase this? I think they had been scared for long enough that I wasn't gonna wake up, you know,
Yeah.
day, that they were like, look, if you want to get sober, like get 100% sober and you stay that way.
Yeah.
And they've just been such great supporters over the last several years, and same with a lot of guys that I kind of grew up with in the treatment facility or in the sober house. Like they've just, still, they are some of my closest friends, and then the people that I,
Amazing.
relationships that I fostered at my church um here in Minneapolis have been life changing. Like I've never had closer friends in my life, and that was something that I was always searching for. And there's a quote that actually one of the guys from the sober house said many years ago. This always stuck with me, and he told me, Tyler, at a certain point, you have to decide what side of the stage you want to be on.
Mm,
Do you want to be the one that's on the stage or in the party? Because you
mm,
can't do both.
yeah.
That shifted my perspective quite a bit. And there was actually one other quote. Now that I think about it, same guy told me, who was the best man at my wedding, who challenged me to get back into music and start telling my story. Uh, Asked me one day, "What is the value of a life?" And I thought about it for a minute, because he's a very like heady guy. So I was like, there has to be more to this question. And I ended up
Yeah.
saying that it's invaluable. Like a human life is priceless. He
Yeah.
says, you go and you tell your story and you never become famous, but you save one person from addiction, you save one life throughout
Hmm.
from this point on, from the rest of your life, you've made more of an impact than you will becoming the most famous person on the planet as a rock star.
Yes.
And those two things
100%.
have never left me. It changed my life.
What great quotes. Like just and to really, and it's not just they're great. It's they're great in the sense that they're thought provoking,
Yeah.
right? It forces you to think of what you want or who you want to be,
Yeah.
and to take a second and really think about the choices you're making and the choices that you'll make down the road, and to be able to, I think, challenge you in that way. I think that's amazing. That's a good friend, that's somebody who seriously cares about you and is able to be like, dude, I'm telling you this, and I'm asking you because I love you and I see what your potential is,
Yeah.
and you have two ways to go, buddy. Like, let's make the right choice, like, that's amazing. What a good guy, dude. I love it. So my other question too is, you had said that, like, your belief really kind of helped you too, coming to God and going to church and kind of coming back into that. Was that kind of a big factor too in being able to help you kind of come over that hump?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I know guys that have uh, gotten sober without Christ. For me, I don't understand how it's possible, and um, really, what it took was me surrendering my will to His will. You know,
Mhm.
I have wanted to be a famous musician basically my entire life. Like
Yeah.
it's always been like the dream to be like the next Adam Levine or Ed Sheeran, like the next rock star
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
knows and loves. And when I was younger, it was all because I wanted money and fame and attention and adoration and women and all the things that kind of come with the world. But uh, now that I'm clean and I had this like new mission for my music, I really don't like. Don't get me wrong. I want to grow my career as large as it can go, but I really like if I stay doing bars and wineries from now until the day that I die, that's fine. There's a sense of peace that comes with knowing that God's plan is greater than my own understanding. And I might just need to sing a song for someone at a bar in 30 years that inspires them to go become the next Ed Sheeran or the
Yeah.
next Adam Levine or whoever, or the next Taylor Swift or whatever. Because we all, as musicians and as artists and as people, we have people we look up to. And maybe my
Yeah.
job isn't to be, you know, on the biggest stage in the world, but it's to inspire the next person who's going to be. And
Yeah.
that's really comforting. And I wouldn't have that kind of perspective if it weren't for my relationship with Christ. Um, it's been a huge part of my music and of my testimony and my mission and my ministry through my secular music. And I also have a Christian worship band. We started 2 years ago, called Ocean Still, and we release all original CCM music that's just telling our story of uh, letting go of ourself and trying to help
Yeah.
others do the same.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna ask you about them later. But while we're on it, is it you're juggling two bands as well as like traveling all over the world. You have a family at home, you have a new baby, and since January, I believe, right?
January
It-
1st, he was a New Year's baby.
yeah. And your daughter's two?
3.
3. Um, and I mean, how do you juggle it all and kind of also stay the course and stay, the mission, and be able to cope with the, I mean, you have, I imagine you have stress too. So how do you kind of deal with all of that with so many obligations at this
Sure.
point?
I think one thing that has really helped with just as a general kind of rule is that I really love what I do. Like,
Mhm.
I really, really love what I do. Even the parts that aren't like I mean, I love to perform and like write songs, but even the stuff is like sending emails to my fans or like responding. If I get fan mail in my PO box, like I respond.
Yeah.
Those
That's
little things,
amazing.
those little things are so cool, and I love all of it. So like, yeah, I'm working like 12-hour days, 7 days a week, um, but it's fun. And,
Yeah.
and I would say like anybody who's looking to like have a happier life, find a thing that you love to do and figure out how to make that thing make you money. And you will work every day, all day, and you will never complain. Um,
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
do feel stress, I mean, I just like to hang out with my wife and my kids. Um, a little biased in particular, I like to hang out with my daughter. She's 3 and she's like a miniature me. We like to sing songs together, and we like to watch Star Wars together. And we have little lightsaber
Amazing.
fights with these plastic lightsabers that I have. And
That's great.
we're both like total dorks. And
Yeah.
come home to this like beautiful wife, and half the time, my family gets to come with me. And there's nothing more fun than knowing that my wife and my son are backstage. Most of the time, my daughter is under the stage, like crawling
Mhm.
around, poke her little fingers at my feet, or she'll come out on stage with me and just like stand and hold my leg while I sing songs to like hundreds of
Yeah.
people. And it's
That's
really,
amazing.
and so, I think it would be different. I'm sure at a certain point, my kids are going to be in school and I'm going to have to, go on trips and be away from them. But for
Yeah.
now, I get to live as close to being a rock star as you possibly can and have a family. And I really can't imagine anything better than that. As far as managing the band, I'm very blessed that all of my bandmates live in my hometown. And so I have an excuse to
So that
come.
makes it easy. Okay.
I get to come home. I mean, I live up in Minneapolis. My hometown is a few like 2 hours south. It's actually where I am right now. I'm in my parents' basement. Um, but I get to come home to see my parents and work on stuff with my band, um, like every couple of weeks because I book 1 or 2 shows down here, and
Yeah.
we just kind of make do with what little time we have. And I think we're very blessed to have very uh, productive time when
Yeah.
we're together. I
Yeah.
can't think of any other situation where I've worked with other people and like we're as consistently productive every
Yeah.
time we're together, especially for like 4 guys that just like to goof off all the time and make it
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
kind of wild that we can get together and make something
Yeah.
beautiful as quickly as we have.
What is your I'm curious, what is your like process of songs? Like it's always like the question of like what comes first, the egg or the chicken?
Yeah.
What comes first for you, the music or the lyrics or what how does you hear it and then you translate it or what is your process?
Yes. So
Yes, all
like
the things.
it's one thing that like my mind never the music is always in my head,
Mhm.
right? Like
Mhm.
with everything, like everything we're saying right now in my head is to a melody of some kind. It just
Wow.
we're constantly singing songs of some kind. It's just does the song suck or not is really the question.
Yeah.
And so there are times where I'll hear a quote or I'll be listening to an audiobook and I'll be like, that was a really good line. Or times where I'll just be alone with my thoughts and I'll think of something interesting or a story that I want to tell. Like a lot of my music right now is there's really 2 topics that I write about. It's either addiction, so I think about my past
Mhm.
and what kind of story do I want to paint with that brush, or I write about my wife is really
Mhm.
the she's my muse.
Yeah.
Most of my songs are about my wife, which you guys will hear in a little bit. But
Yes.
and so that's easy. Like I think of something that my wife did. It could be how she put the dishes away. And I just think that like, she had like some little frustrated face because she couldn't
Yeah.
my wife is really short. So like she couldn't reach the top shelf to put the cup away. And I'll think that's just the cutest thing. And like that'll become a line. There's actually a song that I wrote with some buddies of mine not too long ago. I'll play it for you guys later. It's called Love You Like a Classic. And part of the song talks about the first dance that we had in our kitchen. And I literally write about how my wife was barefoot and like the first dance we ever had was actually in the kitchen of my studio apartment.
That's
Because we're
awesome.
now it sounds really romantic. What I don't say in the song is that we were playing Just Dance on my Xbox and we just happened. My studio apartment was a kitchen, like the whole
Yeah.
thing, one big room.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Oh,
oh,
I've been in one for sure.
but I can paint it in a prettier way that makes it sound like we were having this romantic rom com moment, but really we
Yeah.
were freaking out to like Taylor Swift and playing Just Dance on my Xbox. But that was our first dance, and it was a lot of fun, and so I put that into a song. And so there's little things like that where I think back about how can I position a memory or an experience that I had into something that other people can relate to, or that
Yeah, for sure.
about.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to quite a few of your songs, and one of them, you're probably gonna play, but I just kind of in the tone of what you're talking about, the which one to talk, like which topic to talk about as a song, your the your latest single, "Honey, That's You." You
Awesome.
have the lyrics are, "You found a mess in me, looked past what I couldn't see in myself. Somehow you knew." Like, some people don't see that. Like, they're like, they don't say it in that regard. It's like, "Oh, you found me," or whatever, right? But like, I found that like a lot of your lyrics are very personal, to like specific ideas or specific things that have happened in your life, either with her or with the addiction side. And man, that song, "Honey, That's You," I listened to that probably 4 or 5 times, because that's such a great, like, way to kind of be like, "Look, you did it. Like, you're the one that kind of helped me." And I think, and you saw everything I couldn't see, like, I think it's just a great line and just a great way of painting a picture of your relationship with her and how much she influences you and in your music.
Yeah, and that song actually was inspired because we went to when my wife told me she was pregnant with our second. Um, we only wanted one. Like
Right.
that's very important to this story. We only wanted one. We wanted a girl. We
Yeah.
got a girl immediately. Like I said, we got pregnant 3 weeks. We had like after our wedding, so we had a very successul wedding night
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
had a baby.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
in the same, we got married and had a baby, and
Yeah.
so um when we found out we were pregnant the second time, I was kind of bummed. And
Yeah.
I decided to take my wife and my daughter to Disney World as a way to sell, like, kind of just make this one last core memory where it's just the three of us before my son
Yeah.
comes. He ruins all of my
Yeah.
plans. And so I'm cheap about also. And so I took my wife and my daughter to Disney World when it's the cheapest to go to Florida, which
Yeah.
is the middle of June because
Yeah. God.
it's cheap. Don't
Yeah.
go to Florida in June. It's hot, it's disgusting, and it rains a lot. And so
Yeah.
we're standing in line to ride this like stupid teacup thing for like 2 hours in the downpouring rain, and I'm just miserable.
Yeah.
Planning the whole trip, and my wife and my daughter are so over the moon excited to like go do this thing. And I eventually we get to the Magic Kingdom where you get to meet all the characters. And my daughter sees Mickey Mouse for the first time and runs up and is like high fiving this dude and so excited. And I look over at my wife and she just has the biggest smile on her face that
Oh.
I mean, even bigger than the day we got married. Like this is the biggest smile she's ever seen because for her, she's watching our daughter fall in love with the same character that she's loved her entire life.
Mm.
And in that moment, it clicked for me that like I'm actually the luckiest guy in the world to have someone in my life who actively chooses joy
Yeah.
despite my constant and continual negativity. And what inspired this song is I was thinking about like, okay, when I'm 80 years, it's actually the last verse is really what kind of started the song, and I wrote it backwards. Um, but I was thinking about how like when I'm 80 years old and our kids are married and they're grown up and I'm just sitting on my front porch yelling at kids to get off my lawn, just being a grump. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have this beautiful, wrinkly, amazing woman next to me the entire time, just kind of nudging me to like Tyler. But it's
Yeah.
sun, Tyler. There's it's not raining. Like it's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Why are you yelling at those kids? Like just smile.
Yeah.
That's what inspired this song. Is kind of this like me forecasting what my future is going to be like.
Yeah. I mean, the whole song is just a really fantastic homage to your wife, honestly.
I think
And quite a few of your songs are, but and her, that are about her, but like, you really do. I mean, the I got the impression that most people can see that you are a storyteller. It's more of the story that you want to portray than it and a picture you want to paint than it is the actual like music, I would say, for you. Is kind of the idea I got in some of what you were describing in how you write music and stuff. And um I just feel like, is that important to you for somebody to kind of see what you see in that moment, like in that uh, when they're hearing that song, is it like described in such a way so they get the idea, or do you
Yeah.
just kind of, is it just words, or what, how do you go about that?
I mean, I definitely want to paint a picture. You know, I am the type of I'm the type of writer that I want to write poetry.
There you
But
go.
I'm not a very good poet, but I'm a decent musician, so I kind of combine the two. Where like there
Yeah.
are some songwriters that can write these just beautiful analogies that if you really listen to the words, you can paint the most detailed thing ever. And I'm not
Yeah.
that good. Um, Nor am I like the best producer and like instrumentalist in the world. So like I kind of it took me a while, but I found this happy medium where I'm like I can use the music just enough to compensate for the words that I can't find to say just enough. And I think it,
Mhm.
at least for me, it paints this really beautiful picture of what I'm trying to say. And I think it finds
Yeah.
a balance between like over describing what I'm trying to say and
Yeah.
underrepresenting the purpose of the song as a whole. And it's finding that balance is really what I think defines my skill as a songwriter to where it's accessible for most people.
Yeah.
But I don't lean so hard into any one genre that like you can't find a way to enjoy it, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I had a hard time trying to, I was telling somebody that you were coming on, and they're like, "Oh, what kind of music is he?" And I'm like, "Everything."
Yeah,
Like, there really isn't like and it's one of the few people I there's only a few people that I could say like it's a little country, it's a little, it just kind of depends on what you feel like and what you're listening
yeah,
to.
it's you right. Like it's a little country, it's a little pop, it's a little singer,
Yeah.
it's a little folk, and I think I've just kind of found this nice sweet spot, kind of
Yeah.
right in the middle of a few different places that
Yeah.
allow the story of the song to really shine without getting drowned out from like being
Yeah.
overly produced in one particular direction.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, you had said that like that you kind of influenced by like U2 and I think it was Keith Allen, is that was his name? Or Keith Green. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Oh,
Keith Green. Um, and so, with I love you too. I think they are one of the bands that, I mean, obviously they've been around since the 80s, so they're doing something right.
yeah,
But I think his writing is much the same as like there's a story, there's a purpose to what he's putting on a page and singing to somebody.
yeah,
And do you find that like the music you listen to influences like really how you write and how you, paint those pictures?
definitely, definitely. I definitely would agree with you that like you two, like Bono and the Edge, when they write their songs, they do such an amazing job of painting a picture of for them it's often tragedy and in a lot of ways, but they do such a
Yeah.
great job painting that picture. And Keith Green is a gospel artist from the 70s that was my mom's favorite artist when she was younger. 70s 80s I should say, before he tragically passed. But he was a like a gospel pianist, and his music does the same thing. He paints these awesome pictures through his lyrics. He's a little bit more on the poetic side for some of his stuff, but it's still very accessible. And then my favorite artist growing up when I was 13 is a guy by the name of Jimmy Needham, who is, I will fight you on this, he is the best lyricist ever. He's so good. It's just amazing what he can do. And I find that like the artists I like the most it has very little to do with genre and has to do
Yeah.
with what we're talking about, and how can they
Yes.
that story. And that's what comes out in my music too. It's about the story, not the song. It's about the story. And
Yeah. Yeah.
genre hopped a little bit too. Like I started off doing a lot more like pop music, and then like I went to like deep country, and then I went to singer songwriter, then I went to hip hop and pop, and then I went back to country pop. And so I've kind of bounced around a little bit, but it's like it's
Yeah.
always in service of what actually serves the song
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
like the story that really shine.
yeah. Do you ever feel like um what's the word? Um Obligated to kind of stick in the same like realm of like pop or whatever, country pop, whatever you feel it is. But like do you ever feel like you have to stay there and can't veer into other things or are you just like I'm outside the box. I can go any direction, you know?
Sure. I mean, I think uh so how do I feel and what I'm doing are probably two different answers. I feel like I could reasonably do any genre, like besides like maybe like ska and death metal, but like any top four style genre, I feel like I could do. However, I don't feel like all of those genres serve the songs that I'm writing right now.
Yeah.
I find
Yeah.
myself in this sweet spot of like pop country. I've been telling people recently here, my music is kind of like if you took Ed Sheeran and Dan and Shay and you smushed them together.
I saw you said that, and I literally, because I love both of them, I was like, God, and I don't know what song I was listening to. It was a TikTok you had. I went over like a couple of your TikToks, and I was like, that is just on the nose,
It's good
like
pitch, right?
amazing, amazing job of like melding.
Also two of my other favorite artists. So like it's good that
Oh
the
man,
influence on me and you can hear it in my music. But
yeah,
I think that just like I found this sweet pocket of songs, and it really all started with my song "Like That Kiss," where it would that one's a
good
little
song.
bit more on the pop side, but like it's
Yeah,
still pretty country.
yeah.
And then "Honey That's You" came out shortly afterward, and it was like, all right, we really found our sweet spot. And so now with the success that I've had with those couple songs, I'm like, I just want to keep kind of mining that vein.
Yeah.
And like, if I write a song that feels like it needs to go another direction, I'll go another direction. If it
Yeah.
ends up being a good choice, I'll start mining that vein. If it ends up being a mistake, I'll swerve back. But that's the adventure of music, right? Is
Yeah.
you get to decide what you release, and there's
Well,
tons
and also
that I probably won't
it's
ever.
so
So,
fluid. Like there's no rule book, right? Like you have to stay, you know. I think I've seen it with a lot of artists that try and stay because they think that that's all they'll like if they came out as country, that's what they have to stick to because that's what their fans are. And they fear moving because it's going to take away all of that work that they did up to that point, right? But I
yeah.
think it's interesting because I think music is so fluid and it's so vast and nothing is the same, you know?
Mhm.
And so I feel like with you kind of being able to sit outside the box, I think that makes you more versatile too, you
Yep.
know, and being able to have you like thought about like the collaborations part of it? And I know you did like I think one I saw, right? You collaborated with somebody on a song?
Yeah, "Home Tonight" with Lila.
Yes.
That was actually the first song she's ever made,
Wow.
which was a lot of fun getting her involved. I searched forever to find a female vocalist for that song because I was like, I actually have a recorded version. I haven't released it where it's just me, and it doesn't feel
Yeah.
it's meant to be. That song was written as kind of like a back and forth between my wife and I as we were uh, going through the long distance relationship portion of our dating period, our courtship. Um, but yeah, so like I'd like to do more collaborations. Some of that's pretty challenging with my schedule to like add in another person to work with, and
Yeah.
I have been in talks with a few people. I won't give names at the moment, but with a few people
Yeah.
uh, to do some collaborations with. Hopefully in 2026, it will depend on if tour schedules line up so we can get into the studio at the same time. Because
Mhm.
that's how I prefer to do it. Like if I'm going to make a song with you, I want to be there with you while we're doing.
Yes.
We can kind of feed off of each other's energy because you'll hear that in the final production.
Yeah.
Uh, and so it's just a logistics thing. Like I don't want to collaborate with just anybody, but I definitely want to collaborate with more people. So if any artists are listening to this and want to collaborate, Hit me up.
100%. Yeah. I personally I write with a co-writer, and I love it. Like I feel like me by myself, like I'll bring what I have, and then she's like the spice on sugar on top, or whatever you want to say it is, the sugar on top. But like I feel like it also kind of brings, an option to have a different way to look at it, where like I know sometimes, like for me, like I'll get like pigeonholed into like this is how the song should be, and this is how I hear it, and this is,
Yeah.
you know and yet she always comes in and she's like, dude, what if we just did this, or whatever, let's just add this little riff or whatever. And I'm like, maybe, it starts to kind of open your horizon of to like two minds coming together to make a song the best it can be, and essentially that's what you want in the song, to make it be heard, and the best it'll be at that whatever time you're releasing it,
Yeah.
um
Agree.
yeah. Is there anybody that like you like kind of dream of like collaborating with?
Gosh. Okay. So there, yeah, I mean, I would love to collaborate with Ed Sheeran if he was at.
Of course, I knew you were gonna say that.
No, but I mean, as far as uh, people that I think I could realistically collaborate with, there's a country artist by the name of Brian Michael, who we know each other a little bit. We met on like TikTok and just by coincidence. But I've
Mhm.
been stalking him for a while because he's so talented. And I actually wrote a song that I really want him to sing on. And so that right now would be my dream collaboration, is to put out a song with Brian Michael.
Yeah, amazing.
You ever
And
see his
that's
podcast? And
oh, go ahead.
I'm embarrassed, but like collaborate with me. So please
Please,
do it.
please. Well, I mean, that's so cool that like you have this thought already in your head, and hearing it and hearing him sing it. I mean, that just must be like so fun, and kind of force you to want to. Like that's how you hear it. So like,
Absolutely, but
you
it's
know.
frustrating too because now if I don't get him to sing on the song, it's never gonna feel like I can put it out. So
Yeah, right.
it happens somehow.
Yeah, for real. Well, I kind of want to touch on a couple of things. So in the songwriter realm, so how did it feel the first time in 2023 when you had your song on the radio? What was that feeling like, just hearing it for the first time?
Oh gosh, you're talking about living in the last days.
Yes.
That was wild. It was wild to me because I didn't think I would ever get my music on the radio.
Mm,
It was also wild though because of how well that song did on the radio, and
yeah,
for me to put out my
top
first song in
10,
the
number 8.
yeah
Like,
it charted to 8 in the U.S. on indie radio, and it charted to 4 in the UK on indie radio.
wow, even better. I didn't see that. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't post about that one as much, so it might be a little
Yeah.
hard to find. Just because I mean, I don't have a lot of fans. Well, I guess now I have fans, but at the time I didn't have any fans, so it was kind of like you were posting to nobody. Who am I?
Yeah.
Um, but so that was just wild, and to see the delay it's taken to get another song to be released to radio in that way. I had to work with a label. And whenever you introduce a label versus doing things independent, there's just so many extra hoops you got to jump through. It's a lot slower of a process. Like I could write and record a song myself right now and literally have it on Spotify in 20 minutes. Like it's
Yeah.
be very fast. But if you want to go to radio and get it distributed correctly, it takes time, money, and a team of
Yeah.
people working behind the scenes to help you be successful. And it was just mind boggling to see the amount of work that went into not just making this song and recording it, but making it actually do something, and that the impact that song has had on people's lives has been amazing. And I'm really excited that I have another song with that same label coming out here this month. I don't have an official release date, but this month my song "First to Be Last" will be coming out with that same label, and I'm excited to see if we can break the top 8. Like because
Yeah.
now the standard's been set. Like
Yeah, I was
if I
gonna say now
song
you've kind of hit
one,
yeah.
song one you can hit 8. That's pretty dang good. So now I've got
That's
to go. I've got to
fantastic.
go for number 1. So
Yeah, yeah. That's fantastic, though. I mean, even to break top 10, people even wish to break top 50 or
I
20. I mean, to
get on
reach top 10 is fantastic, Tyler.
just to get on the chart to begin with is phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that song and all that it's opened up so many doors for me over the last few years. Like that song led to me being able to play at the CMA Fan X for the last 2 years. So I've been
Yeah.
able to perform at the CMAs and do like meet and greets with my fans from all over the country. And we come to Nashville and I have like
Amazing.
a little booth and I get to sign autographs and feel famous for 15 minutes. And it's all because of that song that really opened the door.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta feel good coming
Right?
from, being 16 and sitting behind a booth. Like these people coming to see you because they want to see you,
Yeah.
and like, sitting, I mean, a signature has to mean a lot at that point too, because you're like, I've literally made it where I can sign my name and somebody cares about it,
Yeah.
like I think that's incredible.
The funniest part is so the with that same label, they have like a management side of the label, right? And so when
Yeah.
I they told me they invited me to come to the CMAs and participate, they had me go through this whole process of like signing my name because they knew that I
Mhm.
was getting autographs, and they're like, "We want to make sure you have a good autograph." And at the time, I did,
What?
and so they actually they suggested that I go out and I hire a calligrapher to redo my signature, and then I reteach myself how to sign my own name. And so my signature from when I was from like 4 years ago is
Yeah.
completely different than my signature is now. And that's
Yeah.
because I spent hours practicing how to sign my own name. Just a
What?
fun story.
That's incredible. I didn't know they did that. Like that's
Well, if every artist has that, or if I just had really crappy penmanship and that needed to be corrected, that was probably the case.
they're like, come on, Tyler. Nobody can read that.
I, I couldn't read it. I was like, I'll make a little T and then I'll squiggle a bunch, but
Here,
it was
I'm
such an ugly squiggle.
I'm gonna show you something. And this may make you laugh. My name is Kara Matthews, right?
Yep.
Fairly long. This is my signature.
See, but that's memorable. That's pretty good.
Everybody thinks it's a star, and it's not.
No, but like it could be, and I think that would be amazing if it was. That's a good
I
that's a
don't
good
know. I've
signature.
I've always struggled with it because people are like, "Where's your name in this? Like, why do you do that?" And I'm
You know,
like, "No, it's just always been my name."
this is my
See,
signature.
I gotta say, Tyler, that's a pretty freaking awesome signature, though.
Yeah, but it cost me $300 to have someone teach me how to name.
I mean, it could be worse.
It worse, and I think it is a good signature now. It is a good signature
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. That's a great story. I love that. I've never heard of that. That's fantastic.
I wish I had like a before and after. I should go back through some old.
Because you can't do the other one now, right? You can't
No,
go back.
no,
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think I could make myself do that with my hand anymore. It's kind of just it's muscle memory, right? So
Oh
like,
yeah,
but
100%.
I,
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my parents' basement. There's got to be a box of like crap from high school around here somewhere. My mom had to have kept like some report card or paper or something that I signed my name to.
That's
Mike,
fantastic.
I'll ask her in the morning and I'll DM it to you if I can find it so we can have
Oh
a.
my god, I would love to see that and see the difference. That would be great. Oh, okay, so you also have been like in many places have they've written down that you're just so high energy at your shows. And just very like engulfed in the people that you're playing for and like so receptive to your audience. Like
Yeah,
how do you keep that going on stage all the time every single day? Like how do you keep yourself at that level every day?
that's a really good question. Honestly, probably the simple answer is that kind of what I said earlier. Like I just love what I do. Like
That's true.
I have the coolest job in the world. Like I sing songs for a living. I'm not rich by any means, but I make enough to provide for a family of four and two
Yeah.
dogs. Like
Yeah.
that's the American dream, right?
The
Like
American dream.
eh,
Yeah. Do you have a picket fence, Tyler?
uh well, it's not a picket fence, but I have a privacy fence. that is
I
white.
I think that's the modern day picket fence.
Yeah, you say. I mean, I've got a nice. It's not a bad house by any means. Like it's
Yeah.
great. Like it's pretty cool that I get to wake up every day and make music, and so like that that's really energizing.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there are days where like I don't want to do it. Like either I'm sick or I'm just tired. Like I mean, there are days where like I'll go do a show until 2 in the morning on a Friday night, and then I'll have two shows on a Saturday, and so I'm working all day in the car and trying to sing songs, and I got to go to church at like 6 a.m. and sit
Gosh, yeah.
there and go do a show on Sunday. Like that's literally what happened today, and
Yeah.
it can be exhausting. But I kind of have like a performer switch, is what I call it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get behind that microphone, like I have to turn on the most authentic version of me, which is the version of me that's just really grateful to be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like when I'm off the stage, like I can flip that off and I can mumble and groan for a little bit. But as soon as I get behind the mic, like my job is to make you forget that you're having a shitty day. Right. So
Yeah.
I can't be also having a shitty day. Like I have to be just in the zone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I get up on stage and I'm sitting there like, hey guys, so like it's raining and I'm sad and I didn't sleep very well. Like, how are you gonna have fun? You're gonna
Yeah.
get
You're
leave and
like,
go.
this guy sucks. Take him off the stage.
And that's the opposite of my job. So
Yeah.
like you kind of have to just like tough it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
there are days where I don't want to do it. There have been days where I'm sick. There was one day I had really bad food poisoning and I was like, I don't get PT, I don't get sick days, I don't get time off. Like either I work or I don't have food. Like it's those.
Yeah.
Oh, I told you I'm very black and white. So it's like either
Yeah. Yeah.
work or we die.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah. I
work
love
and
how you go to the extremes though. That's amazing.
it's black and white. Like it has to be my mind works. Maybe it's an addict thing or maybe it's just a me thing. I don't really know. But like
Yeah.
it's got to be extremes. There is no middle ground. And so like it's either I
Yeah.
work or we die. And I
Yeah.
don't really want to die. So I guess I'm just going to work all of the time forever and have a lot of
Yeah.
fun. So just
Yeah. Oh,
well, I
I
get
love
it.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I saw on your TikTok that you quite often serenade your wife or your daughter or have her with you while she's just doing daily things. Like, how does she feel about you just serenading her randomly all of the time?
Okay. I'll be honest. So she kind of hates it.
Oh,
She she used to love it so much. But
she's
we've
like,
been
I know you're a musician, but can we just leave it at the door?
so the reason that I met my wife is she was a fan actually. She was living in France and she came to Minneapolis to hang out with some friends from college and they went to a winery that I was playing at and my
Oh,
wife left her phone number in my tip jar. So
oh,
she she was like a fan. She thought I was
oh,
like
May, holy moly.
X. Like Mama May has got this down. But
Yeah.
she has now been exposed to me singing every single day, all day for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I'm the type of person, like I told you earlier, that like everything in my head is to a melody, and that's
Yeah.
true. And I'm a very talkative person, and so I just kind of like will sing whatever I'm doing. So like
Yeah.
I'll be putting the dishes away or folding laundry, and I'll be like, folding the laundry today. Da,
Yeah.
da, da. And at first, that was a cute thing. 5 years later, it's a
Every
little bit.
day.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit you, especially when you've got a 6 month old baby and a 3 year old, and everyone like our house is constantly screaming. There's dogs
Yeah.
barking, TV's on playing Paw Patrol or something in the background, and I'm sitting there singing about folding laundry and like how I you know can't find a matching sock or something. And
Yeah.
I think at some point she just wants a little bit of silence.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Makes sense.
there,
Makes
there
sense.
there are cute moments too. There are cute moments.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say the one that I really loved was with your daughter. She was like you're leaning against the counter and she was standing. I
Mm,
think she was standing, maybe sitting. Um and just you're singing there and your wife's in the background seriously folding laundry and you're just singing to, I think, the wall maybe on the other side.
we're,
It's
we're
like,
we're in my parents' bathroom actually, and she
yeah.
was
Oh, okay.
because we gave our daughter a bath the night before, and so we had done the laundry here, and we just wanted to clean up, and we like to leave the place, better than
Yeah.
me around it. So she was folding the laundry, and I just walked in, and I was like, May, just don't stop doing what you're doing. I'm gonna do a thing. And I think I sang High School Musical or like
Yeah, I think it
something
was
like
High
that.
School Musical or no, that was the one with her. She sang it with you, the High School Musical. The
She
one
was
for your daughter was a different one.
wait, she was singing with me. I
She
love my
was. She was singing with you.
no, I love my wife, but she does not sing. And you don't want to hear her
Well,
sing.
she was she was saying the words at the very least.
I believe that. She may have been like mouthing them.
She had her hair, she was like straightening her hair, and she would
Okay.
put it to you to sing, and then she'd bring it back and sing some of the word say some of the
Okay.
words.
Yep, yep, yep. I know which one you're talking about. That one took 2 takes, and she actually burnt my face the first time.
I actually was like, "Oh, I hope she doesn't like get too close getting excited about it."
Yeah, that was the second blooper reels. A little funnier.
That's amazing. So there was also one last before you play. I found it really super funny and kind of endearing that you did a like an audition for the voice for John Lennon or London Legend.
Legend.
And I was curious, do you kind of want to do one of those kind of shows like The Voice or American Idol or something to that effect? AGT?
Uh,
Do you think
y-
you ever would?
yes. It's a tricky question to answer. Um, there was a time recently where I had an opportunity to participate on one of those shows, and it did not pan out for a reason.
Okay.
I signed an NDA, so I can't give details. But like, so the
Yes.
answer, yes, I would love to be on one of those shows if the opportunity ever came back. Um, I would take it in a heartbeat. And like, I've gotten this close just recently, and I think God said, "Hey, now is not the time." And what's interesting about it is I was supposed to go on one of those shows, and a week before I was supposed to go to the show to do the thing. Um, I got cut from the show because like my life story is too similar to someone else who had been on the
Oh,
show, and they were like, we can't have two of the same character on the show at like the same time.
right.
And I was like, well, that sucks. And so they cut me from the show, and I had canceled all of my performances for a few months. And interestingly enough, I got about half of them back. And part
Amazing.
summer, partway through the summer, our AC unit in our house died. And so I had to get a whole new AC unit put in, which if you don't know, it's very expensive. So it was like
Yes. Yeah.
thousands and thousands of dollars, right, to get this new AC unit. And just coincidentally, the exact amount of money that I made from my shows that I got back was the cost of the AC unit,
Wow.
which is just I don't know if you're a person that believes in coincidence, it's coincidence. To me, it was divine intervention. They,
Yeah.
you have the skill, but it's not your time yet because your AC unit's going to die, and you're not going to leave your wife for months to go
And
beyond
two children. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a house in the middle of July with no AC. So like
Oh,
I got to take this opportunity away so you can provide. And so I struggled a little bit when that happened, but now I have a lot of comfort that like, hey, there's a purpose. I've got the skill. Like it wasn't that I'm a bad singer, you
yeah.
know, just timing wasn't right. And so maybe next year, maybe not. I would encourage anyone watching this to continue to watch those shows and follow me on social media, and I will tell you if I'm going to be on one as soon as I can.
Yeah. Amazing. I think you would get pretty far, honestly. I think you would just power through it and get pretty far.
You
I've
never know.
seen two of my friends that I know from doing this show the last 6 years. Two of them have been on that show and made it top 10. And I mean, it's so and there you're I would put you in the same caliber with them.
Well,
Like you're very talented.
thank you.
Um and and a lot of those is it depends on the voice, and you have a very like comforting kind of uh inviting voice, and I think that's what also helps. It seems to me, I would think it would help people want to listen to you and want to support you and see you succeed in what you're doing in the journey you're on, because you have come so far, you know. And
Thank you.
so
You're gonna make
that's
me.
what I you popped up on my Facebook. You're um the latest song that you have popped up on my Facebook, and I was like, oh, this guy. And mind you, I get so many musicians on my Facebook that come up, you know, because everybody sponsors them, and so I get inundated with it, you know, and so especially on Instagram, you had popped up, I don't know how many times, 5, 6 times. So if you're wondering if it works, it does. Um, and so literally on Instagram and on Facebook, it was like a couple of days, and I was like, all right, I'll listen, you know. And I by that point, if I see the same person a couple of times, I'm like, all right, I'll listen, see what they're about, you know. And I was like, this dude's cool. Like, and then I started reading your kind of like who you are and the intrigue, you know. And I don't normally message people when those come up. I just kind of follow everybody, and if they decide they want to come on, most people will ask me. They'll see that I followed, and then they'll ask me. But I was like, no, I like your story, and I really feel like you have this like amazing triumphant story of just perseverance and diligence and amazing. I think that you're a really amazing person, Tyler. You really have built up your career and yourself um pretty fantastically.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, my career has had a lot of ups. It's had a lot of downs. But the thing is that I think is what has really gotten me where I am now is that even when I fall, I always fall forward, never backward.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
learn mistakes, and I continue to make mistakes. And if I have to make every mistake in the book before I find success, then I'm happy to do that. I'm just going to keep falling forward.
Yeah. And I think that's such a great quality, because it has literally gotten you to here, you know, and I'm not just saying here like on the show, like to this place in your life where you can do music full time and make it a career and have a family do it, like do while doing it and travel the world. I mean, who can say? I can't say that. I haven't even left America. Like, so
Canada's there.
oh, and I'm only 11 minutes away from it, so I have no excuse. But yeah, but I don't know. I just think you're very, it was so cool to kind of see you pop up and and see the growth that you've done from then to now. Like just a fantastic story. So thank you for sharing your story. Honestly, it's amazing.
Anytime.
Um, so we're really over time, guys. Just because I wasn't paying attention, I was too interested in conversation. But I really want you to play and sing. So I'm gonna hand over the reins to Tyler. He's gonna play, and then we'll reconvene after he's done.
Awesome. The first song I want to do for you guys is one I wrote called "Enough." This is a song that really kind of started my career down the path that it's been going down. I wrote this one as an apology to all of the people that I hurt throughout the course of my addiction and my use when they were willing to try their best for me, even though I wasn't willing to try my best for myself. Hope you guys like it. Well, I've been keeping all these secrets and hiding all of my feelings. Drinking every day to cover them up. Wasting pieces of paper on changing and vapor. When would I figure out it was never enough? If I could turn back time, you know that I would. No need to say goodbye. Point is understood. But you told me that it wasn't enough. But you gave all you had from me. Before we went our separate ways, I can't blame you, I messed it up. To me, no me at my best, but my worst was just too much for you. I'll take all the blame, I was just lucky to take you home. You've been telling me that you haven't sent. The words you said didn't come from above. You used to be able to weather the weather. It rained, I changed. You had enough. If I could turn back time, you know I'll. No need to say goodbye. The point is understood. You told me that it wasn't enough, but you gave all you had for me. Before we went our separate ways, I can't blame you, I messed it up. Tell me you knew me at my best, but my worst was just too much for you. I'll take all the blame, I was just lucky to take you up. I'm sorry for the things I said, I never knew that I needed changing, and you couldn't save me. You told me that it wasn't enough, but you gave all you had for me. Before we went our separate ways, I can't blame you, I messed it up. To me, you knew me at my best, but my worst was just too much for you. I'll take all the blame, I was just lucky to take you up. I'll take all the blame, I was just lucky to take you home. As my song Enough, it's available on all streaming platforms right now. Feel free to check it out. The next one I want to do for you guys is an unreleased song. This is called Love You Like a Classic. Little song that I wrote just thinking about my wife and how awesome she is and how much I love her, but more that how I want to continue to love her. Top down on a back road, I've been playing something that we both know. You smile, flashback to the first time I held you close. Remember when we first fought and made up in the rain? Since then I never felt the same. I wouldn't ever change a thing. I wanna love you every single night. When we wrapped up in our bed, I wanna hold you tight. I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life. Through all the ups and downs, I'll stay right by your side. You make me fanatic, I gotta have it. Gonna love you like a classic. Hearing you laugh in the living room at your favorite rerun show takes me back to the first dance, barefoot by the kitchen stove. We didn't have that much, what we had was always enough. No, I won't give you up. Oh, look how far we've come. But I wanna love you every single night. When we're wrapped up in our bed, I wanna hold you tight. I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life. All the ups and downs, I'll stay right by your side. You make me fanatic, I gotta have it. Gonna love you like a classic. Love you like a classic. All right, that song is unreleased, called Love You Like a Classic. Coming out hopefully soon. If you guys want to hear more of my unreleased music, you can always give me a follow on TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Tyler Herwig Music. This next song is my newest release, and I think kind of a fan favorite at this point. One that we talked about throughout the podcast called Honey That's You. Let me know what you guys think. Cigarette on my lips, undress on your hips, and they're doing what you do. Oh, honey, that's you. Laughing when there's no joke, always ready to go. You don't need no makeup on, it's true. Oh, honey, that's you. The one I've been praying for my whole life. Someone to set my days and nights. The one that'll love me wrong, alright. And wear my ring if you ask me. Oh, honey, that's you. You found a mess in me. Look past what I couldn't see inside myself. Somehow you know it. Oh, honey, that's you. The one I've been praying for my whole life. Someone to share my days and nights. The one that'll love me wrong, alright. And wear my ring if you ask me. Oh, honey, that's you. When I'm 80 years old, our kids are married and grown. I know who I'll be holding on to. Oh, honey, that's you. The one I've been praying for my whole life. Someone to share my days and nights. The one that'll love me wrong, alright. And wear my ring if you ask me. Oh, honey, that's you. Laughing when there's no joke. You're always ready to go. You don't need no makeup on, it's true. Oh, honey, that's you.
Yay! Man, I really do. I keep saying I need a soundboard that just goes, yay!
Yeah, you need one. That's one.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. See, he's prepared. I am not. I need to do that. Um, Man, I love that song. I gotta
Thank
say, it's even better live. I really love that song.
you.
Such a good one. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on and gracing us with your talent and your story. And I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I hope someone listening or watching, I hope your life has been changed. And I hope you guys check out my music and love it or hate it. Let me know. I just want to connect and get to know you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Can you like tell everybody where they can find you again?
Yeah, best place to follow me, honestly, is going to be TikTok. If you're not a TikToker, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you can find me. My handle is the same for every social media. So at Tyler Herwig Music, TylerHerwigMusic. Tyler Herwig Music on everything. You can also find all of my music on every streaming platform. So whether that's Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever, or you can always Google me. I think you can probably attest I'm very Googleable.
Everywhere. Yeah, there are pages. You cannot get enough. I couldn't get enough. It never ended. But it was all good things. But
Good.
I just appreciate that you took some time out. I know that you're very special and have a lot of your hands are in a lot of things. So I'm very thankful that you took some time out to come and share your music with us.
Anytime.
Also, on a separate note, we are 10 days from LMS showcase. It's on the 15th, and I'm so excited. It's the 5th anniversary of it. So if you're in the Seattle area, come and support the local artists. We have Camden West is back for the 5th time. Um, Bat Box is back for the 3rd time, and the first time for them is Astor House, who is headlining. So if you've seen the show, you know who all those people are. And just come and support us and support the show. And I would love it if you came and supported me too. So we can continue to do it and maybe bring Tyler out to Seattle and he can come play for us.
2026. Booking right now. We'll talk.
We'll book for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but please come in. It's actually for a good cause. As you guys know, and I've told you, I lost my aunt to breast cancer this year. So I really, really, really want to be able to give back to research and not have that tragedy go for other people. So the proceeds will be going to that, as well as helping fund the artists that are playing. So please come and support us. So with that, we are out of here. And thank you for sticking around for such a long show. I know it's not normally this long, but if you're all the way to the end, thank you so much. And make sure you follow Tyler. Bye,
Please do.
guys. Have a great day.